Hello my dear friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Joyce and today in this lecture we will discuss about the social auditing in India. We will discuss about the ineffectiveness or concerns regarding social auditing in India. Let us start. First of all, let us understand what is a social audit. So, social audit, it is a legally mandated process, and what is done in social auditing? The potential or the existing beneficiaries. The beneficiaries are evaluated. The beneficiaries evaluate the implementation of a program by comparing government records or official records with the ground realities. So, under social auditing, the beneficiaries of a particular program or a scheme or a project, they evaluate the ground realities with the official records. Social auditing, the beneficiaries, the implementing agency and the oversight mechanism, they together evaluate the implementation and progress of a particular program. So this is in brief social auditing. Now let us look at the background of social auditing. Social auditing emerged in the UK in 1970s. Generally it is defined as public audit or audit by the people. So, who are the beneficiaries of a program? The government delivers services for its citizens or for the people. So, the beneficiaries of any program is the general public or the people. So, it is generally known as public audit because it is an auditing done by the people or the citizens. And CSR or corporate social responsibility is also associated with social auditing. And traditionally, the legal, procedural and the hierarchical accountability, they were carried by formal institutions, not by people. So, traditionally auditing was done by formal institutions, and in the modern era, this auditing done by people came to be known as social auditing. Social auditing is more people exercise and it creates a pressure on people. So we can say it is demand driven reform. Now let us look at the significance of social audit, or why is social audit important. One major reason that makes the social audit significant is the limitation of government audit. The government audit has certain limitations. It is done through formal channels and it does not have any involvement of the public, and this poses certain limitations for the government auditing, and that is the main reason why social auditing is very significant. So for the government, who is doing the auditing? It is done by the CAG or the Controller and Auditor General, and the auditing done by CAG has certain limitations in the process. It is merely post-mortem in nature. That means a thorough analysis is not done. So CAG audit remains a government process, or it is a formal process. It only looks into regulatory and legal auditing. So performance auditing, legal auditing and regulatory auditing is done by the CAG. So CAG does not have the power to conduct the audit of welfare and development schemes. The government auditing, which is done by the CAG, looks into the legal matters, regulatory matters and also the performance analysis. But the welfare part or the development part is not done by the CAG. And after the liberalization, that is after 1991, due to increased revenue of the government, after the new economic policy, our economy has become an open economy. And an open economy will have more revenue than the closed economy because of increased levels of interactions. So, due to external interactions, the revenue of the government increased from 1991, and due to this increased revenue, government is spending more and more money on the developmental and welfare schemes. For example, Manrega or other developmental schemes. So many schemes are being implemented by the government and huge money is spent on the schemes. And due to a lack of accountability mechanisms in this welfare schemes, the schemes are leading to failures. And in order to rectify these failures, social auditing has been introduced. Now let us look at the objectives of social auditing. Social auditing will provide accurate identification of the requirements. It will lead to prioritization of developmental activities. So the revenue or the resources that are available with the government is limited, but the wants and needs of the people are unlimited. So what has to be done? There should be a judicious use of these resources. So if these resources are used carefully and judiciously, what will happen? These resources can be dedicated to the most productive activities. So under social auditing, auditing is done by the beneficiaries, and therefore the outcome of such developmental schemes are clearly visible, and this will lead to prioritization. If the productivity or outcome is more, such schemes can be implemented by the government. Such schemes can be given priority by the government. And this will lead to a proper utilization of the funds of the government. Government will be able to utilize the funds properly. This will enhance the conformity of the developmental activity with the stated goals. Also, social auditing will help in assessing the physical and financial gaps. Physical means the need, and financial means the financial resources that are available. So the gap between the needs and the financial resources can be easily understood by social auditing. It will also create awareness among the beneficiaries. It will increase the efficiency and effectiveness of local development programs. So these are the objectives and the advantages of social auditing. Now, how this happens? Society is a stakeholder in particular, because the beneficiary is the society, and society becomes an important stakeholder. The CAG audit, that is the government auditing, looks into only the economical and efficiency part, but social auditing on the other hand focuses on outcome as well as quality of the outcome. So this is the essence of development administration. Now let us look into the benefits of social auditing. Individuals and communities, that is the beneficiaries of a program, they get empowered and politicized. Politicized, here it is a positive connotation. That means they become a part of the political system. So they are also involved in the process of implementing a project. So they get empowered and they also become a part of the system. And it will also result in redistribution of power. Power is redistributed from higher authorities to the lower levels. They are also a tool to detect corruption. For example, under the MNREGA, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. So under the social audits conducted under MNREGA, nearly 100 crore has been identified as misappropriated. So such examples show that social audit also helps in detecting corruption. Social auditing also helps in ensuring accountability, transparency and also citizen participation. Now let us see why social auditing in India has been ineffective. This is the most important part. In 2016, the Union Public Service Commission in the mains examination of civil services has asked this question: why social auditing in India has remained largely ineffective? So let us answer this question. First reason is inadequate institutionalization. There is no formal setup or institutions in order to ensure that social auditing is done efficiently and effectively. That means there are no implementing agencies that will make sure of social auditing. The second reason is inadequate access to data and lack of expertise. So the beneficiaries or the public must be provided with data and inputs. Only then they can do this auditing. So they lack expertise in doing this social auditing, and also unavailability of data makes social auditing ineffective. The third reason is there is lack of legal proceedings for not following social auditing principles. So even though social auditing is compulsory, if it is not complied with, there is no provision that can penalize for not following social auditing principles. So this is also another reason why social auditing in India is highly ineffective. Another reason is the lack of education or awareness among the common masses. Because of lack of education, the social masses or the public is unaware of their rights, and when they are not aware of the rights, they cannot get the rights enforced. Another reason is the lack of people participation. Social auditing is done by the beneficiaries, the general public, and when there is lack of public participation, it becomes ineffective. Another reason is the ineffectiveness of social auditing committees. The recommendations of the social auditing committees are advisory in nature. So they are not enforceable. They are not compulsory. They are only advisory in nature. Another issue is the absence of grievance redressal mechanisms. Also, there is lack of focused media attention or scrutiny to social audits. So all these reasons make social auditing in India ineffective or less efficient. Now let us look into some solutions that can make the social auditing in India more effective. In this regard, the second Administrative Reforms Commission has come up with certain recommendations. One is, the second ARC recommended that the social auditing committee reports must be made legal. That is, the government should submit action taken for the report of social auditing committees. We have seen that the reports are not binding. So, second ARC recommended that government should make it accountable to the general public whether they have complied with the recommendations provided in the social auditing committee reports. If we take the example of certain states like Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, etc., they have established separate directorates for social auditing. So such examples can be followed by other states of the country as well. Thirdly, there must be a formal framework. We have learned that a formal framework or institutionalization is absent in social auditing in India. So there should be a formal framework for cooperation and coordination for mutual communication of various audit plans and their synchronization. Another suggestion is to ensure uniformity of social auditing at the village level for all social sector programs. Another suggestion is to educate and create awareness, and this can be done through Gram Sabhas. So, lack of awareness of the rights and lack of education is one major constraint in the implementation of social audits. So, education and awareness can be promoted, and NGOs can play a major role in strengthening the social audits. An example is MKSS in Rajasthan. So in this regard, some solutions are to mainstream the social auditing process into the formal accounting, that is the accounting or auditing done by the CAG. And secondly, the social audits should serve as a critical point of reference. You can find the PDF of this lecture on my Facebook page. I wish you all the very best. Thank you.